Hi, this is the FilmCrop channel. Today I will tell you about the 1989 action movie called Kickboxer. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. At the beginning of the film, we watch a duel between two kickboxers. One of them is named Eric Sloan. He knocks out his opponent in the fourth round and Eric becomes the world champion in his weight class. He is invited to fight in Thailand, and his brother, Kurt, goes with him. They swim through the local landscapes and see this unusual country. Eric already manages to give the girl flowers and goes with her to the hotel. In one of the training sessions, they discuss their upbringing, remembering their parents who wanted a completely different future for them, without ever seeing who they had become. Kurt doesn't fight very well, so he just helps his brother. Together they come to the playground where Eric will have to fight. While going to get ice for his brother, he accidentally sees his opponent. The man's eyes look crazy and he kicks a concrete column so that plaster falls from it. Kurt hurries to warn his brother, but he is sure that he is the best and will not lose. The fight begins. Eric falls in the first round, but rises. His opponent does terrible things to him, inflicting a pile of the strongest blows that he cannot resist at all. Kurt dissuades his brother, feeling his defeat, but he is stubborn and goes out for another round. This time the opponent finally nails him to the ground and finally hits him on the spine. Kurt saw everything, and when he tries to object, the crazy kickboxer just hits him so that he flies out of the ring. The fighter tears the received belt, and Eric is taken out into the street and thrown like a dog. One of the American people, Taylor, agrees to help him. The nurse at the hospital said they would only be able to see Eric in the morning, and Kurt spends the night sitting in front of his room. In the morning, the doctor comes out and says that he did everything he could. His brother is paralyzed and will not be able to walk. He will stay in the hospital for another 3 months. Kurt cries and wants revenge on the one who did this to his brother, but Taylor dissuades him from this idea. The only way to get revenge on a fighter is to get into the ring with him, but is Kurt strong enough for this? Kurt walks among Thai temples and tries to cope with what has fallen on him. Along the way, he finds a Thai gym and asks for a fight with Tong Po, his brother's abuser, but he is ridiculed. Taylor meets him at the exit. He knows a certain Shen who could teach him and they will go to him tomorrow, and today Taylor wants to have fun and they go to a strip club. Smokes and drinks only water, but Taylor drinks a lot and talks about his life. But why is he helping Kurt? Taylor talks about his friend in Vietnam. One day he got into trouble and Taylor wasn't around, so he will help him now. In the morning they go to Shen. His home is a small hut in the jungle. Taylor asks not to provoke Shen. When Kurt goes to the house, he falls into a trap, and while he is hanging upside down, Shen approaches him. They get acquainted and he mentions a recently defeated American, to which Kurt replies that it was his brother. Then Shen loosens the rope and Kurt falls to the ground. He asks him to teach him how to fight, but Shen insists that he should wait, but Kurt continues to stand his ground. Shen sends him to the store to buy groceries for lunch from his niece Miley. When he comes to the grocery store, Miley tells about her uncle that he has decided not to teach anyone else and wants to be alone. Therefore, it is strange that he agreed to teach him. It turns out that Tong Po protects these lands. Two unpleasant guys come up from behind and are going to take the girl's things, and at this moment Kurt intervenes, beating the bandits. The girl is angry at him, because now she will have problems, and she gives him the products that her uncle asked for. Kurt returns to Shen, and at that moment Taylor brings him a bag of things. Our hero stays in the hut. Kurt wakes up in the morning about being doused. That's how their training begins. Seeing how our hero runs slowly, he ties a piece of raw meat to his leg so that a dog runs after him and urges him on. They have dinner together with Xiana's niece. A spark of love appears between them and Kurt kisses her. Their training continues and is gaining more and more complex turn, and Tong Po continues to send people into knockouts. In one of the training sessions, Shen asks him to kick a palm tree, and after a bunch of blows, he can't hit anymore, otherwise the leg will just break. Shen says that Kurt has no place in his house and the training is over, but our hero does not intend to leave. Shen reminds him of his brother, and this makes him wake up with rage and strength. Forgetting about the pain, he breaks a palm tree with his foot. Training continues. After a while, Shen takes him to a bar and they have a drink together. The man invites him to relax and dance. Kurt dances, attracting the attention of the bandits, and they attack him. After he easily deals with them, he looks for Shen, and the teacher stood on the street and negotiated a fight with other strong fighters. Kurt is at a loss. Why was he attacked? It turned out that Shen had said nasty things on his behalf to test Kurt's new skills. The first fight of our hero in the ring begins, and we see the result of training. The kicks are so strong that they immediately send the opponent into a knockout. People chant, "White Warrior," which indicates the respect they have for Kurt. At night, Eric reads the newspaper with this news and becomes furious, because once he was a boxer and the headlines were written about him. He arrives at his brother's house in the morning and stays with them, trying to convince Kurt not to fight Tong Po. At this moment, a letter comes to him with news of the battle. Freddie Lee organized a battle for them, but on the condition that they fight in the old style. Lee borrows $1 million from his boss to bet on Tong Po. Kurt's lover is kidnapped and beaten by the Tongan people, then the kickboxer rapes the girl. Eric is kidnapped by the same people and severely injures Shen's dog, trying to confuse our hero. The day of battle is coming. The glass is broken into small pieces, but Kurt is calm. According to the terms of the battle, they must soak their bandages in resin, and then dip them in broken glass. Before the fight, Freddie Lee approaches our hero and asks him to lose in each round so that his brother remains alive. The fight is very intense, and Kurt misses a lot of punches, falling to the floor, and meanwhile Shen sneaks somewhere. In the second round, he manages to repel Tong Po a little. In parallel, Shen breaks into the place where Eric is being held and tries to free him, but he finds himself trapped. Taylor comes to his aid and shoots the remaining bandits. Now Eric is safe and no one can blackmail his brother. His fight, meanwhile, continues and Tong Po cuts his stomach. Kurt's blood is splashing everywhere. Tong Po reminds me of Miley's rape and it makes him mad. Before the start of a new round, Eric appears and whistles to his brother that he is with him. Everyone starts chanting "White Warrior" and "tie again." Kurt remembers everything he trained for and asks to cut his bandages. The speed and strength of our hero is unimaginable and he simply does not leave a wet spot from the opponent, throwing him out of the ring with the most powerful blows, and Tong behaves like an offended child and grabs a torch, rushing at our hero. But he doesn't care about that either. He repels all the attacks of the Tong, and when the second one tries to escape, he approaches him and sends him into the strongest knockout for his beloved, Eric, and the civilians of the village, who were kept in fear by his bandits. And along the way, Freddie Lee gets hit. He deserves it. Kurt celebrates the victory together with Shen, Eric, Taylor, and Miley. They will definitely be fine. Other videos about movies with fights can be viewed in the attached comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.